Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing good. We decided to jump in on Sunday.
Happy
So
Sunday, everybody.
happy Sunday,
We hope
everybody.
your weekend is going great.
And we're sorry that we're making you wait till Tuesday
Yeah.
for the premiere on that video because, well, we're trying to establish a schedule that you guys can actually count on us instead of just randomly throwing them out at you.
Because we get so excited, it's like, ooh, yay! But it kind of
Backfires.
backfires
Yeah,
sometimes.
because a lot of times you guys won't know that we're actually doing a premiere until it's halfway through, and then you're wondering what happened. How come I didn't get my notifications? Well, we didn't give nobody a notification. We just jumped in and did it. So that's how we roll. Hey, Sunflower, thanks for joining. So yeah, we for those of for those of you who don't know, we were actually honored enough to be on Rochelle G's live stream last night, and
Epic!
that was cool. And I think we could have taken that live stream and ran for at least a good couple solid hours easy.
Yeah,
So
we were
thought that
having
was the
fun.
coolest thing in the world. Tonight though, she is actually be going to be doing a live stream with Rooted Expeditions over on his channel. So as soon as we finish this, we're going to jump over there and watch her over there on their show. So all you guys that are hanging out with us now can also go over there too. And we can take our fam and blow up their chat, telling them how amazing they are, as well as us. That sounds kind of cool, don't it?
Yes,
We're fam stalking the other
yes.
YouTubers.
And if all works well, he doesn't know this yet, but if all works well, we're gonna see if we can meet up with him on our cross country tour too. So
But he don't know
he
this,
don't know
so
that yet.
don't let the cat out of the bag. So
I
what?
gotta ask him first.
Yeah, right. So one of the things we wanted to do that we noticed that Rochelle does sometimes on her channel is she talks with the fam. She talks with you guys. She goes live with you and interacts one on one, which I thought was a really cool idea because a lot of you guys have shared a lot of amazing stories with us and a lot of experiences and things like that, along with everything else that we love the idea. So we decided to take the program she was using and try to use it ourselves. And here we are. Over, let me see, over there, you'll see a cute little black cat. And that is Dexa Dex. She is one of our fam that has been following us for quite a while. And she's actually shared. Thank you, Misty.
Oh,
she
cool! Thank you.
she has she had shared a story with us that I tried to read to everybody during the live stream, and it was a horrible fail because nobody could hear me. We made the mistake of covering the microphone with our hand when we were doing the stream, and it sounded like I was underwater drowning. So I went back and I read the story again to everybody on another video afterwards, and it was just one of those stories where you're like, wow, that's deep, you know. And so we asked her to come on the show with us tonight, and she is here. Hello, Dexa Dex. Can you hear us?
Yep. Hey, everybody. How's it
Yeah,
going?
very cool. So, like you heard me explaining to everybody, um, did you happen to see that live stream that I was trying to read that the
A story
story you
from.
wrote?
No, I don't think I saw it. I'm trying.
Hmm.
I'm still trying to catch up with everything.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, it was one where we did a no. We were doing a live stream Randonautica, and it led us somewhere where we shouldn't have gone.
Mm-mm.
And we went, and her phone happened to die um, close to the end, I guess you would
Yeah,
say. And we met up with
local sheriffs.
some local sheriffs, and they told us very politely that we shouldn't have been there, and they asked us for our autograph and gave us some papers just to say thank you.
Wah,
um,
wah.
so yeah, it was one of those. situations where we knew better, but we were trespassing.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Take it from us.
Nah, it definitely wasn't worth it.
It's
But-
really not.
Well, it was in the day. We saw another couple people go in there, and we thought, what the hell? They're going in, so it'll be fine if we do.
Nope. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. we get to find out how much we get to pay for walking in a empty field, climbing a dirty mountain to look at a rock. That's going to be a costly rock.
Lots of animal poop.
Yeah, animal poop.
Yeah.
But anyway, I could pull up the story real quick, but I think it would be a little more interesting if you wouldn't mind sharing how you first came across our channel and what it was that grabbed your attention.
Well, I've been studying, I guess, or researching Randonautica probably since it came out because I have like a trillion theories and whatnot. But anyway, I'd found a stream of them and just let the playlist go. And I just got done watching a Yasco video and I went to go get a drink. And I'm making my drink and like the next video comes on and I'm not really paying too much attention at first, but then like, I heard some guy talking and I'm like, wait a minute, that voice sounds familiar. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds like my Uncle Junior. It's like this really calming family type easygoing voice, it was very comforting. And I'm like, okay, so I just finished my drink real fast and I come back out here and it's you guys sitting in a car and Marianne's being Marianne and I'm like and I'm like, okay, this is great because these guys act pretty much like my own family do. And it was just like I don't want to use the word home because everybody uses that word, but I don't know. I enjoyed it and I stayed, obviously.
Awesome.
Well, we can't thank you enough. And the fact that we could bring a little bit of that comfort that you're already familiar with back,
Mm-hmm.
on our videos, it's truly a really good feeling to be able to do for you guys. I am a very laid back person. Most everybody knows that it takes a lot to really get under my skin or to get me worked up. And even then, sometimes it's hard to tell if I'm worked up.
True.
And so, yeah. And then Marianne being Marianne, you couldn't have put that any better because there is no category or no specific area to describe Marianne except Marianne.
I think you could probably get away with calling Marianne a bundle of joy.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes
On
I'm just crazy.
camera. She did bite my stomach. So a bundle of joy doesn't bite you.
Bundle of crazy? I don't know.
Oh, and I gotta tell you, you know what pareidolia is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I have like a little bit of an extremer form of it, and right now behind you with the way your equipment is, there's a face back there. And I keep looking at. I know it's just pareidolia, but it's weird.
Yeah, there's actually a conversation going on in Discord about that earlier
there
today. I don't know if you're a part of it or not, but they were talking about just that because of some pictures that people had uploaded. Misty Bowers says, "When Marianne laughs, I'm going to laugh too. I love how much your channel does feel like the true fam. It is. I'm so glad to be a part of it. We're glad
to have you a part of it. Yeah.
Part of the reason why we wanted to do this stream today before Rochelle goes on with rooted expeditions or expeditions is because being on her channel last night, it was kind of like what we're talking about now is when we connected with her on the cameras and we started interacting, it felt like we had known each other forever. We just started talking and,
Mm-hmm. It's
you
very
know,
natural.
and I think it's nice when you're dealing with very laid back people, very calm people, not all a burst of energy, especially when you're trying to follow the person and not just the content in the video. Um, and Dexa, when you came in and you left that story in there, as soon as I saw it, it stopped me dead in my tracks. We were in the middle of a live stream, and it meant a lot to us. And I don't know if you saw it or not, but in our community tab, we had another fam reach out to us, and she was getting ready to go in for surgery, and she didn't know if she was going to make it out the next day. And she had we had, I guess, made a big enough impression on her that she wanted to reach out to us the night before her surgery just to tell us how much she loved us.
Wow, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
bad, but awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's awesome that we're touching so many people on so many different levels, and
Agreed.
and we never thought that that would happen. When we did
Yeah.
our first video, we just thought nobody's going to really care. It's just going to be us. We might get 5 views, and there it is. Um, but you guys exploded. You guys started coming out of everywhere and constantly telling us that you love what we do. You love how we're keeping it real. I was originally trying to mold the video around her. This was supposed to be the show right here. Um,
The crazy.
but the crazy cottage. But Rochelle said last night that it was the dynamic between us that really is what makes it work because
It is. It is.
and again I wasn't even trying to be on camera. I was going to be the camera guy because that's usually what I do.
Mm-hmm.
you know Out of curiosity, Dexa, what was probably one of your most favorite videos we've done so far?
Oh, jeez. I don't know, man. Anything at that Pinwheel Cemetery is just it for me. I love that place. Um, pro- uh, anything from there, honestly. Probably the last one though, where we thought that you were talking outside the car.
Hmm.
Right? Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah, that video was actually kind of deep for me, but whatever. But probably that one.
It's weird because we that was a total fluke that we even found it with the Randonautica the very first time, but it's become kind of a special place for me. I feel like through the history and through each time we go back to communicate, I feel like I get closer, if that makes sense. Even though they're gone, it's like they're not gone. It's like they every time I go back, I feel like they're more and more alive to me, and it's fascinating. It's just so fascinating. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I love that. I love that cemetery.
Well, I gotta tell you, the last one when you guys were in the car, and I saw you. I don't know what I would call it, blanking out, staring out into space, or whatever. And I knew at that point that someone was talking directly to you, and I'm like, oh boy. But I think it's what is her name, Ida or something like that. I
Hmm.
think that's probably who it was, right?
Um,
She has come through a lot for me. I feel like, yeah, in different ways.
Yeah, I felt like she was directly trying to contact you when you were just kind of spacing out a little. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, I was really listening because I could tell there was a female energy there, and I was hoping it was her. But I have felt her come through several times.
mhm. I I think a few of you have hit the nail on the head on that topic a few times,
Mm.
and it's what Neva's saying right down there is I've always said that spirits are like people. Every spirit has its own personality, just like every person living does. And um, they're getting to know us. They're getting used to who we are and what
Mm-hmm.
type of energy we're bringing, and what our intent is. Um, Marianne is definitely a lot more sensitive than I am. She definitely can pick up on energy and hone in on things a lot better than I can, and I'm totally fine with that. Um, but that night when we were at the Pinwheel Cemetery and I was outside of the car, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I could hear Josh talking outside the car," and I'm like, "Who would I be talking to?" My phone was on the inside of the car playing the Necrophonic app,
Right.
and so I wasn't on the phone or anything, and there was no one around. But when I went back and heard it, I was hearing a lot more things going back and reviewing it than I was when we were actually there. And that's very common in the paranormal too, is there's a lot of things that we miss
Mm-hmm.
until we go back and review everything, and then we start catching all those little subtle things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep, that's why review is always important.
hmm as an editor, I mean, I end up going through the footage like 50,000 times anyway, just trying to put the cuts together and clean them up and get rid of the dead space, and no pun intended. but but it's just I end up catching a lot more in post. But a lot of times I don't want to point everything out.
Right.
A lot of times I want to see what everybody else catches. And that's why on that last stream of the Pinwheel, I didn't put any of the necrophonic responses on there. I asked in Discord, what would you guys prefer, with or without? And I saw a few that said without, so I kept them out and figured, people would send me timestamps of what they hear and everything else, and I'll go back and do another video adding those timestamps in and showing what the viewers heard. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, that way you might get a little bit more story out of it, you know? Well, I don't want to say story, it makes it sound fake, but their story, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not fake at all. It's
No, no, I'm not saying that. No. Gosh, you're
oh
like you're like the realest people I've seen doing this kind of stuff.
yeah. Well, I know you didn't mean that we were fake. I just bringing the footage back with what you guys put down. The reason why is back when we were in the paranormal field, and mind you, we were in the field for over 10
Long
years,
time.
so we have years of experience. We know that different setups hear audio differently. So
Mm-hmm.
some speaker computer systems will hear EVPs better than other systems depending on what the frequencies are. And so if we have 50 of you guys going back listening to it, 50 we may get 50 different comparisons as to different things that were caught that the other systems didn't catch. And so it really kind of helps to pull it all in together and have a solid, this is what was heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it adds more to it, and also engages you guys more too, so you can actually say, hey, at this time I heard this. And hey, I heard Josh outside of the car, and I saw that somebody else was like, no, it wasn't Josh, the voice was deeper. And then somebody else said something else, but then we were also hearing kids outside.
Yeah.
you
And the
know
crunching on the ice. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that heard the crunching on the ice.
right.
Because, yeah.
And so for us, it's hard to capture, recognize everything that's happening in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always, hindsight is always 2020, right? It's when you go back, oh, I should have done this, oh, I should have done that. um
Well, you could also rewind several times, where in real life it's like, wait, did I hear that? Or was that my imagination? Well, it's gone. So,
yeah, one and done's.
mm-hmm.
But again, that's why the funniest thing about that video too, and I still laugh about it, is that when we went to go live, we went to go live just to say, hey, it was a fail.
It was a bust.
We got here, it was too cold. We tried, but it didn't work out. So we at least want to do a live stream and show you we're here. Next thing I know, everybody's logging in, and it's like, okay, well, everybody's here. What should we do? So, did you watch all the live streams too, or just the last video?
Oh no, I was there for all of them.
Was ya?
Yeah.
So, the fact that when I went back up to the pinwheel and I stopped and I was recording it and the pinwheel was moving, and then I took you guys all inside and I showed you the two separate headstones
Mm-hmm.
that had the first name. You know, that that was some extra stuff that we never would have caught while we were there if it hadn't have been for you guys logging into the live stream and saying, "Yeah, do more. Yeah, do more." And it was just a fun ride. It was a fun experience.
And I didn't even realize. I mean, I didn't really put two and two together until after we had come home, but I'm pretty sure that was a full moon night. So did that have any effect on it? Maybe. Um, I don't know. I would like to say it probably did, but I don't know.
I think it probably did. I think the moon has effect on things. I mean, that's just me personally, but
Well, I agree. I think that energy comes in a lot of different ways, and I think the energy of the moon is probably a very powerful
Oh
one.
yeah.
Um, I'm not really into the whole spiritual side so much as energy and stuff like that. I do respect it. I do know it exists. I just don't know enough about it. And this brain contains information that I can function with, and so I rely on her brain to
He doesn't want to
absorb
be
that.
garbled up with other stuff.
She seems to be going through editing, and she's like, "How do you do that?" It's because I don't know nothing about the moon energy.
He's like, that's the storage space I left. So
But I know it exists, and I don't turn down any possibility, no matter how far fetched it is. I don't turn it down. I listen to it. I absorb the information, and I'll apply it where I think it should be applied when it comes to mind. But she is the sensitive one, so I rely on her 100% when it comes to that. She's walking through a cemetery and she stops on a specific headstone. I know to stop and shut up, and just let her kind of look at it for a minute, because I think she's doing more than just reading it. I think she's feeling the energy off of it.
yeah, there
yeah,
there are certain times when we would have our paranormal investigations, and I think they started realizing after a while that when Marianne goes through on her first walkthrough and stops, that's where you place your camera because stuff's going to go down there in that hallway or in that room or whatever. And more often than not, it would.
Right.
And I can't explain it. I'm not saying I'm, this amazing whatever. It just, like you said, I'm just really, really sensitive to it. So when I walk through a different, it's like when you walk through a different temperature of a building or whatever, you notice that shift, right? And it's the same thing when I walk down a hallway or walk outside. And I've had people jump in my car that were past, almost swerved me off the road because the energy shifts completely, and you're like, whoa, what just happened?
Hmm.
Um, so it's kind of like that for me.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I don't feel anything. Um, she has actually tapped into my inner workings more. She told me I am a bit of a empath.
Uh-huh.
So, that's something that I was like, yeah, whatever. but
More than he wants to admit, but yeah.
but I mean, I can go in certain areas and feel I call it the vibe. I feel the vibe of a spot and know whether or not I think there's anything there. But kind of like that experiment we did that night on that live stream is sometimes when I leave the area, that's when more happens. So I don't know if I have guardians that are protecting me or if I don't know, but I know that there have been many, many a times where after I leave an area, then the activity picks up.
True story.
So I don't understand how that works, but it does. Um, do you have any stories of paranormal experiences you've had, or anything you'd want to share?
I have a few. when I was younger, well, I've pretty much been in the paranormal realm since, well, I was born, basically. But I've had a few times when I was younger, when you'd go around with your friends just looking at scary houses or whatever. We found a house that was down by the water, and it was run down, abandoned, the usual get up.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody would just sit there and laugh about it and whatever, but I would just always stare at the place. And I decided, hey, let's go in there. Couldn't really go up the stairs or anything because it was just that bad. But when we got in there, we heard from upstairs a little girl yelling, "Please get out before he comes." Of course, we're out the door. I've taken several pictures of that place, and you see stuff there all the time. But they ended up demolishing it. It was sad.
Oh wow.
Um, and the other only like super major thing was the place that I lived at before here is kind of like behind a cliff face. I
Okay.
don't I don't know other how to explain it other than that. But one night I was looking out the back window because we would get deer and all the fun animals, and I saw a man walking through the woods towards my house, and I was like, "What the heck?" And he had like a bandage around his head, and his name was Jeffrey. I don't know why I knew it,
Hmm.
but I did. But so anyway, I went and looked it up, and where I lived was by part of the road that they would call Dead Man's Curve.
Oh wow.
Because if you went around it fast enough,
You're
you're gonna go off it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a man that died on that road. His name was Jeffrey Baxter.
hmm.
Um, it was in the 40s, I believe, because there's a military base by there. But I couldn't really dig up anything too much more other than that because he was military.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But that really freaked me out really good for a very, very long time. I just kind of couldn't get over it. But
Yeah.
eventually I did.
That'll stick with you.
Well,
Hmm.
I don't want to interrupt too much. I just want to shout out Trudy. Thank you. Truly, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for
Very
that
much.
super
Very
sticker.
much.
We definitely are grateful. Also, I wanted to shout out, we got Rooted Expeditions in here
Yo.
in the chat.
Hey.
So, again, we got Rochelle G that's going to be going over there here in about another 30 minutes. We're all going to flow over there and watch
Mm-hmm.
that episode after this. So, all our fam that's sitting here hanging out with us, remember, we're all going to flow over there and we're going to flood his chat. We're going to show the power of our fam going over there and showing some more support for those two content creators. Okay. So, keep that in mind after we're over. We're all bouncing over there. Rooted Expedition. Remember.
Yes.
Rochelle G. Remember that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Trudy.
if anybody's got a link for it, post it in the chat, please.
Oh
Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely. Get a link down in the chat as well if you can find it. I know Neva's in there, so I think she can drop one for us too. Also, I want to shout out real quick. I mean, this whole channel, we're doing this every Sunday from here on out. Okay. So we're going to be hanging out with the fans. We're going to be hanging out with the people that have been helping us. Dexa Dax is actually one of our mods now, so she's doing a lot of moderating and stuff, not only on YouTube but in Discord and sharing and offering more help wherever she can. We have. I get a hard time seeing which way the camera's way over there in the chat. We actually have some more of our mods. We got Neva in there, I believe. We got Selena in there, I believe. I saw Jen in there. If I'm missing somebody, I'm sorry, but all you guys mean the world to us. I mean, the story that Dexa Dax has about
Mm-hmm.
hearing our voice, seeing Marianne fall in love with us at that point. You guys are incredible, and you're the reason why we're doing what we're doing now. Um,
100%.
if any of you who are new to our channel, because I know from last night with Rochelle G, I'm seeing a lot of new faces popping up in there. And if you guys aren't aware yet, we are going to be doing a road trip. we are going to be leaving in May to travel across the country to visit with you. So
I'm so excited.
we're going to be hitting a bunch of different states, a bunch of different cities. We're going
A
to
bunch of different truck stops.
bunch of different because we'll probably be sleeping in the car, but that's all right. It's worth it.
I'm so excited.
We
really.
just may have to borrow somebody's wall outlet to charge our gear for a
Yeah,
couple hours.
batteries.
But we're going to go randonauting with you. We're going to go on urban explorations with you. We're going to go and have a paranormal investigation with you guys. We're going to go and have a cup of coffee with you guys if that's what you want to do.
Coffee.
Except for her. No coffee.
Can I smell it?
You can smell it.
Okay.
Just don't touch it.
Okay.
Dangerous.
I have my portable coffee beans.
Yeah, I know that's dangerous enough. So any of you guys who haven't seen that before or aren't aware, we do have Discord. If you can go over there and drop your name and what state and city you're in, great. If you want to just drop it in the chat for now, that's great. We have a bunch of links getting posted in the chat as well. So if you want to send us an email, go to Facebook, Instagram, Discord. Again, these mods are amazing because they're keeping track of all this stuff.
They're
for
so
us.
incredible.
We do
For
have
real.
a map that Marianne has already started formulating, and we've already talked with Rochelle G. We are going to be doing a collab with her. So when we go out there, we're going to be hooking up with her. We are also set to hook up with
Exploring with League.
Exploring with League. And hopefully, if we can rub shoulders enough with Rooted Expeditions, maybe we could hook up with him while we're out there. You know what I mean? But we're also going to be hooking up with you guys. So if you want to see us, if you want to hang out with us, if you just want to chat, whatever, let us know. We have a lot of different avenues. If you want to help support us, that would be great. And we could either, like Marianne says, either through PayPal or super chats or things like that. Or if you can't afford it, which is totally fine, just share the heck out of our videos. Let people know about us that have no clue about us. Because I believe there's millions of people out there who would love what we do. We'd be able to bring a little peace and a little bit of home back for them. They're just not aware that we exist.
Right.
So anything you guys can do to help, we'd greatly appreciate.
And if I can add just a little bit, I know this is kind of going backwards just a tiny bit, but if you're going to leave your locations, try and narrow it down to a portion of the state instead of just the whole state. Because, like, if you tell me Texas is kind of big. So
it is a big place.
kind of
Everything's big
hone
in
it down
Texas.
to like the nearest city if you're uncomfortable giving your own, just so we know what part of the state we're going to, because that's really going to make a difference on where we go.
It really is. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to throw that out there because I forget. We don't plan these live streams. We just turn on the camera and hit record and say, okay, what's going to happen?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
And then we forget what we were talking about.
Yeah,
So.
it happens a lot.
But yeah, I mean, so out of curiosity, Dexa, did you ever watch the Stalking the Stalker episode that we did?
Yes.
What was your thoughts on that?
Well, considering the fact that I come from, lately I've been on a Randonautica thing. I don't really think that those were Randonautica people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, but still, you got to question what the heck was going on, because there was just a lot of strangeness going on.
Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely was.
It was very unusual for that area in particular. And
Thank you, Neva. We love you.
Thank you, Neva.
Sorry, squirrel.
No, but it really was very unusual for that area, and so I'm kind of with you there. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what it was that we were seeing, because traffic like that back there is just not. Now, were they all there for the same thing? I'm not going to say that I think that either, because I think, um, you know,
Well,
city,
at one point it looked like they were practicing something because they would all go out in a specific line or come in a certain way, and I'm like, what could they possibly be practicing for if that's what was going on? But I don't know. It was just
yeah,
all too strange.
it was weird.
Well,
It was weird.
the one that obviously kind of threw me for the loop was the girl who was doing her little photo shoot out
Yeah,
front of her car. At the time, we thought that there was somebody inside the car taking pictures of her, and we thought that was weird. But I
yeah.
think later on we figured out she was there by herself, if I remember right.
I think so. I mean, it was so dark; it was hard to tell for sure. But I think she was taking photos from the hood of her car.
Yeah, that's what I think. She was either doing that or doing like a TikTok or something.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
but it was still weird because she had actually parked at like two or three different
Yeah,
spots
yeah.
before she went to that one, and you can't really see what was in the background. So I don't think it was so much a matter of what was behind her, because all you'd see was her and the headlights on her.
Hmm.
So it was just really really weird.
Yeah.
You know.
What I think caught me off guard was that most of the people never even got out of their car. It was like you said, it was just, you'd come in one way, they'd kind of make the same sort of paraded circle ish or close to it, and then they would just kind of drive out. And some people would come straight back in and do the same thing. And then so it was just really weird. Like if you're meeting up with somebody, you'd be getting out of the car, or they'd be following you, but it just didn't
Didn't
make
make
sense.
sense. Yeah. This is funny. Bonnie's beautiful chaos. Who was the stalker? TIPA TV or the random strangers?
Right.
Well, we weren't really following them.
Not on that episode.
Not that episode.
We did later. But
Once.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
it
no.
was just weird. I mean, it was an experiment. We had gone back there since then, and we had posted up um, without the cameras or anything
Hmm.
else like that, just to see without the Randonautica app
Hmm. Hmm.
to see if something similar would happen, and it didn't happen. So we went back and we actually filmed another episode. I think it was titled "Stalking the Stalker Experiment" or
I
something
think
like
so,
that.
yeah.
And we went back out there and we decided to kick on the app again and started getting weird again.
Yeah, it did.
You
Yeah, it
know,
did. And was that the time, did it have you in like 2 cities away on that one?
I
Or
think it was the first one where it said I was like 20 miles from where I was
yeah.
actually at. Yeah, it was weird.
So weird. That still just, I don't know, weird. Because we've seen even the car map only when he opens the app, okay? And like this is the only kind of weird, it
Hmm.
will you'll watch the map and it'll just start to shift and it'll pinpoint you different places, and it's like, what?
Yeah,
The Google Assist pops up only when
yeah,
that app is opened.
yeah. So if a lot of you guys know about the Google app, if you have it to set to where you say, "Okay, Google," your app would open up and it'd like open this search bar,
Hmm.
so you could say find nearest restaurant and it would search for it. It would automatically just pull up in our car without us saying anything.
We never use it, like ever, 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 ever. We never use it.
So yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So
but
there are some weird things for sure, but
but the weird thing too about it is that after we did that and after we did those experiments, it seemed to calm down a lot for us. Either they got smarter about it or something, but we haven't had nearly as many people following us that we
it's so
used
true.
to. We're not paranoid.
We're just aware.
We're aware. I mean, we've done live streams before where all of a sudden a car would park out front of our house randomly, and we've even taken pictures during the live stream and posted. It's like, look, we're doing a live stream now. Here they are, surprise.
Hmm.
You know, and this is our home, so we know if there's a lot of cars that park in front of our yard or not. But
Hmm. or if they're the neighbors or whatever, we know who's in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But these are all people we hadn't seen before, and they just sit, and they just sit, and they just sit, and they just sit.
But it's definitely strange. And one of the weird things too is that it seems like the Random Nautica is what made our channel grow the most.
Mhm.
And it's hard for us to show the world that there's more to us than just Random Nautica. We've been paranormal investigators for over 10 years. We understand the paranormal field. We're not afraid to go into some abandoned buildings and explore it and just geek out on the history. And she can geek out on the history just by looking at the paint. She could tell you an hour-long story of just the paint or the type of carpet. If there's a half a teacup, she can tell you about where that teacup was made. She can tell you what day of the week it was made.
Whatever.
All right, that's a little bit much. But she can really geek out on history.
But I do geek out on it. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, a lot of like paranormal or urban explorer people were kind of just, nobody really knew too much about them. But as soon as they started posting Randonautica stuff,
Mhm.
everybody just started blowing up, and then they would slowly go back into their urbex or paranormal stuff.
Right.
So, and then they'll occasionally do a Randonautica here or there, but it still exposes them. So it's ultimately a good thing.
Right.
They have a good mix.
Yeah, and what I love too is that I love all you guys coming in, seeing our videos, and we hope you guys feel it. We try to connect with you guys as much as we can. Sometimes we get busy. Sometimes we have situations that are life. We got back from filming this next episode, and you will understand when you see all the parts to it. But it took us a day or two to regroup from it because
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty crazy just from that little live bit you gave us.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
and see like that, even on that little live stream part we did, is we had something happen. It's like, okay, we need to step out. I wanted to step out just to breathe for a minute and also do a live stream and let you guys all know we were okay, because you guys worry about us there in Discord and we see it and we feel it. We actually had to give the head mod a way to contact us so when things go a little bit weird, somebody can make sure we're okay.
So they don't have found footage instead.
Yeah, so people don't have nightmares, because apparently we've created some nightmares for people. 'Cause
Sorry.
it goes wrong, But
Well, we're all the family type. We worry,
yeah. But part of that too is the fact that this is where it's going to get really interesting, I feel, because what we experienced on these upcoming episodes was a little bit far fetched from a viewer standpoint. Now, hopefully, this makes sense, um, because what had happened is hard to believe that could physically happen. Um, I'm trying not to give away too much.
Well, no, I mean,
And then we could go into detail about
okay.
this, but I don't want to go into detail.
Okay.
But certain aspects of it are a little bit hard to grasp that it's possible. But it happened. And again, I'm very laid back. I'm very calm. But it freaked me out. And I ran. We both ran. So
Mhm.
we were supposed to stay there all night. Hell no, we didn't stay there overnight. We ran home. So it's like Mama was calling, time to get your butts home. We're
Yep.
coming.
Okay.
but but yeah, I mean, we are real. We do keep it true. We aren't over exaggerating things. But sometimes it is hard to look back at footage and say, why did I do this? Why
Yeah.
didn't I do that? Why didn't I think of this? Why didn't I think of that? All those things you question yourself,
Mhm.
you know. Yeah, and there's a lot of that, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to question us on
Yeah.
why didn't you do this or you didn't do that.
You might be yelling at your TV a little bit,
Yeah.
and I mean, I do that too. It's like he said. You look back and you kind of go, why did I do that? Or why didn't I do this? Or I should have done that. Or I should have thought of this.
Mm.
You just don't sometimes in the moment. You just don't. And, there's no sense in judging yourself and beating yourself over what didn't happen or did happen because all you got's that one moment.
Yeah. But the cool thing is that you guys go with us on these little journeys.
Mhm.
Um, in fact, we explained to Rochelle last night where the heart came from and how we had found that in one of the very first locations that Randonautica took us. And we took that image and we made it part of us. It was the love the journey. It was that heart it was graffitied on the wall. We brought that in and made it part of us.
Mm-hmm.
This one is something a way we wanted to kind of throw back to the fans a little bit. We did a little contest for the fans to do up some designs for us. And I got to tell you, every single design that people sent in, I loved every single one of them. I was ready just to do a line for each one.
Yeah, they were awesome.
And we let everybody kind of choose on which was their favorites, and this was actually the one that won, but not by a whole lot.
Right, we had a close second.
Yeah. And it's the fact that everyone wants to interact with us. It's the fact that everyone wants to be part of the journey in any way they can. I mean, we have Neva who's over there in the chat. um, I mean, she's taken great care of us. She's done a lot of work for us, and she sent us the cat balls.
Yes.
There's been a lot of jokes about it, but if you don't know what the cat balls are, they're little cat toys that are balls that have little lights in it. You move it just a little bit, and they light up, flash.
And there's probably going to be a lot more future jokes on this too.
Yes, because I cannot resist. And then we have Angie who sent us, who felt so bad for Marianne on one of the episodes up at the Pinwheel Cemetery where she got back in the car and she was
It was just shaking.
she was frozen. She got her hand warmers. Angie also is the one who ordered us a phone charger, one of those battery charging units, because on our live stream, her phone died halfway through the live stream and it freaked everybody out. What happened? Did they get home? So it's like, here, you got this now. You can stream longer.
It's come in handy. I've used it. And I'll be using it on our trip for sure because that's a long drive.
Oh, and somebody had to bring up the mini skirt.
Oh, yay, whoever it was. Yeah, Bonnie.
Of course, Bonnie. Gotta bring up the skirt.
You're gonna have to talk about that because I don't know the joke.
It's not I'm the joke. I'm the joke on that one. Damn it, you explain it. I've said it enough times.
No, I think you're doing so great.
No, you go. Just tell them.
No, you're doing great.
Oh, damn it. You just want me to say it.
I sure do. It sounds so much better coming from you.
All right. So it all started with a video that we posted. It was a battle. What was the video? Something.
Battleground found it was the pond where the massacre was.
Do you remember what the title of the video was?
I just remember the thumbnail said Battleground found.
Battleground found.
Yeah.
Well,
led us to a massacre site or something like that, I think is what it's called.
Yeah. We said on that one that if we got 500 likes on that video, that I would jump in that frozen lake. And that offer is still open because I never actually put an end date on that one. So I could be jumping in the lake tomorrow for all I know. But then I was talking with, I believe it was Selena on Discord, and Rochelle is in it with you now. Oh yeah, Rochelle is in it with us. Rochelle G said last night that she's going to wear a mini skirt too.
Oh, that's true.
That's right. But anyway, so I was talking with Selena, and she said that there's another YouTuber that said that if he got to 10,000 subs, he'd wear a dress. And so I said I'd do the same thing. I'd wear the dress going randonauting. And everybody just lost their mind. They took off with that. They started blasting our channel everywhere they could possibly blast it.
Oh Lord.
And
Oh, but it gets better. Just wait.
Yeah, it gets better.
But wait, there's more.
But people started talking about mini skirts, and I said, no, we said a dress, not a mini skirt. And then I opened my mouth again. I said, if we can hit 15,000 subs by May 1st, I'll wear a mini skirt. People lost their minds again.
And y'all get to help me pick it out too.
And you all get to help her pick it out. I was even joking with taking the cat balls and hanging them inside the little mini skirt, so it looks like, never mind.
You get the idea. You get the idea.
But so yeah, if our sub counts hits the mark by May 1st, I'll be going randonautic in either a dress or a mini skirt.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody get out there and push it.
No,
Yes.
take your time.
Yes.
No rush. Do it after me.
And if it works too, Paul Knoll said that he was going to wear one with you.
Paul Knoll said he was going to wear one, and then last night Rochelle G said she was going to wear one.
So this is going to be like a big group thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the story about the mini skirt. Everybody wants to see me in a mini skirt. And the best thing they have for her is to color her hair or make her dress up like a pimp.
Look, I'll wear one with you. This is called 3 Shades of Red.
This is why she wants me to wear the skirt. There's the snort. You guys got the official snort right there. It's right there. Oh man, I'm screwed. Yeah, I'm in trouble. So anyway, looks like we have a few minutes to hop over to Rooted Expeditions
Oh, yes.
video.
Yes.
His stream. So we want to thank you, Dex Ducks, for hanging out with us, sharing your stories, telling us about us and how you found us, being a mod, being there to support us, and offering everything you offer to do for us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on. It's totally an honor to hang out with people I consider to be family.
We're a fam. That's what we
You are
are.
incredible.
And for everybody over there in the chat who's been talking away, I've been trying to keep track as much as I can. Obviously, our mods are kicking butt, so I'm doing good. No, I'm not wearing a Scottish skirt, but I would wear a kilt. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Is there a difference?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're going to head over to Rooted Expeditions. Hopefully somebody's shared the link a couple
there.
of times. Don't push the keyboard.
Okay. Sorry. I messed it up last time.
It's right there.
Yeah, I just was going to.
And we'll see you guys over there in a sec. Thank you. We love you. And we'll talk to you next time.
Love you.
Bye.